Hey guys, we got two special guests here, Mr. Robert Keeley.
Hello.
And Mr. Tom Quayle.
Hi there, guys. How
Enjoyed the show.
Well, I want to say first of all, it's a total honor to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you. I mean, I think we just laid eyes on each other just minutes ago.
Literally, yeah. We've never met before.
But
obviously, I know
cool.
lots about you in terms of your pedals and so on and so forth. So it's great to finally meet you.
Yeah, and I think I was only introduced to your music and your playing through a common friend or acquaintance of ours, Jason Wilding.
Yep, absolutely.
And so I'm very grateful for him and all those guys at Wampler. And so that's a pretty cool darn connection. I hope they come out next year.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think they'd enjoy the opportunity.
I'm sure Brian would, and Brian does great YouTube videos as well. So he's very entertaining when he does his YouTube things.
I love Brian in person. He is so laid back, down to earth, and it's so fun
to
hang out with him. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So we've got a couple new things.
Yep.
And you got to hear them just for the first time just moments ago.
I did indeed.
So which one do you want to listen to?
Well, let's start at the beginning. So let's start with the Monterey. Tell us about it, and then I'll do some playing. Like these two in particular, the Dark Side and the Monterey, they're two things in one, right?
Yes.
So maybe tell us about the fuzz side first, and then the other stuff, the magic that you can do as well.
So what I wanted to do was to create a series of pedals that had a theme to it that a guitar player could relate to. And so we also wanted to do something where it was like an analog fuzz, which sounds better, or an analog drive, and then the modulation sounds that an artist was kind of famous for. So on the Monterey, we wanted to capture something a la Hendrix. We realized that we weren't going to get the Octavia sound right. We realized we weren't going to get X, Y, and Z right. So we better increase the scope of the project to make it something that you could make modern sounds with.
Right, okay.
And abandon the fact that, yes, it looks like the Monterey Strat. It's not tied to the artist anymore. It's a theme. It's a series of sounds that sound good together.
Okay, great.
And there was all kinds of problems then. Do you want the wah first or the fuzz first? Do you want the rotary first or the univibe? So what this pedal is a standard fuzz phase, 2-transistor basic fuzz, and then it goes into either a univibe or a rotary or a couple wah sounds.
Okay, cool.
So here's the fuzz side of things. Yeah, exactly. So what happens when we put a little bit of univibe with that? And let's see if we can test this here. We get two different sounds. Go ahead.
That's awesome straight away.
Yes, that is. And someone was like, "But what if we change the order?" Then let's see. There, go ahead. Now it's a much different pedal. Go ahead. Yeah, so you can see that there's a difference between the two dramatically, whether the fuzz is first, and of course you have all the issues with that kind of basic fuzz, you know what I mean? It's very dynamic with your
Yeah, definitely.
control.
Why don't you do the two whilst I'm playing so people can hear like the big difference? So that's kind of fun. What this pedal does have as well is kind of a auto wah. Let's see if we can get that working. Okay.
Yep.
So pick based, as in an envelope filter style wah?
Yes.
Man,
You
that
see
is
how-
a
you see
lot
how-
of sounds from one pedal.
Sure, and you see how critical the effect order is in a box like this. Because again, you're working with a very primitive fuzz. Not many people go, I'll take a 2-transistor fuzz face basic thing and go outrun with it. So we had to really kind of watch because you can get some very honky sounds
Yeah,
or sharp things. But we also incorporated this octave in there. So for example, if you got this univibe sound, I think there's an octave down we can listen to. Let's see. Let's see. It doesn't take much of that octave down, and it's not like a very sophisticated octave down, so it's got some modulations in it that make it kind of crazy. A little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
So
It's very
that's kind of the Monterey.
Okay, cool.
And it would be cool to show you the rotary where you can control the speed with your foot,
But we
don't
have no
an
expression pedal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
What can we do? We have
So-
to work with what we have.
Now, the dark side is a much more sophisticated fuzz, and I think that you were liking that, so we
Yeah,
can hear the
definitely.
main difference in those fuzzes there.
Okay.
What we did different on this pedal is we wanted to capture some of those multi-head tape echoes. And so we got the syncopated delay with it. So that is a lot of fun because there's so many different rhythms that are available, and we can take a listen to some of that now. Here's try another one right there. One last
So
one.
many creative
You know what's really
potential here.
when you're, I noticed that when you first started listening to this, the first thing you did was making sure you understood where you were in the timing structure, and it's incredibly important with this type of syncopated delay because you can fall out of, those things aren't in logical positions; they're in rhythmic positions. But if you're not paying attention to the time, so it takes a little bit of skill to get used to, which you locked right into.
And you know immediately if you screwed up.
Yes,
It's like the delay
it's
tells
not
you off
forgiving.
immediately. You get very creative very quickly with it. It
If
inspires
you're
you
Tom
to play-
Quayle.
Well, it inspires you to play a different way, which is super cool.
That's the important part about effects. That's the value in effects because if they don't inspire you to make new sounds, or you're in a position where maybe things aren't coming to you creatively. Sometimes sounds and textures can influence your playing, make it, hey, that's really kind of musical there. I didn't think about those rhythms, and maybe you don't even need the effect in the end because maybe you could go da 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 da.
You could figure out another way of doing it, but the effect has inspired you to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's really, really cool.
So again, this is another pedal where you can reverse the order on, and we were listening to it earlier. It's amazing how changing those things normally would take cables and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but It's a lot of fun.
This has also got a really kind of clever rotary I think we can listen to in a flange. Let's see if I can set that up.
Again, I was saying to you earlier how impressed with how fat this sounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound digital at all. To my ears, it doesn't, certainly.
Right.
So this is, sorry.
No, you're good, man. This is the rotary simulation on this side now.
What am I doing? Cut that out.
You were asking. They sound analog. You know what we do at the shop? What we call it at the shop? We call it the tube screamer filter. There's plenty of tube screamer jokes, but we have our own, and that's like, hey, make sure you apply the tube screamer filter to it. Meaning, you know how rounded the tube screamer is? It's got no highs.
I love that.
You know what I mean at all? And so it's like we literally took that filter that's on that pedal and went, hey,
Wow.
let's put it on this digital pedal. It's like, oh, thank God. Now it sounds like a piece of music now.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
trick
yeah.
is to just destroy all the digital parts to it and
Well, there you go.
round it off.
Yeah,
you know,
it works, because I've definitely got the vibe that sounds really analog,
Yeah.
so that's impressive.
it's fun.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
you've got friends at the that pedal show.
I know these guys.
You know those guys.
I recognise those faces.
Have you had a chance to play it before?
I've not, no. I've heard them talk about it and play it so many times. This is like the first time for me I've even seen it in person.
So if you go Dan here,
Okay.
no, you say Dan here.
Oh, down here.
Mick here.
Oh,
Hello.
I've always wanted to do that.
Okay, let's start
That's
again.
another dream come true at GuitCon. That's awesome.
So Mick Taylor first. So he wanted a bold kind of mid-range forward type of drive, and Dan wanted the harder, edgier distortion, full-on.
Dan
distortion.
is hotter and edgier.
That's right. That's awesome. And so we did it for him. We put the package together. The nice thing about this particular dual pedal is that Daniel Steinhardt, famous for his G2 switching systems.
Yep, I've got one.
Yeah, and they are incredible. And one thing he really wanted is that if I put both pedals on, I put it in a drawer, put it under a pedal board, I got to be able to access each pedal individually.
Yeah.
And so we incorporated his Pro switching system if you use TRS cables. So now he can integrate it and you can use each pedal independently.
Perfect.
I love it.
Amazing.
So here we go.
Yeah, great.
Great.
We should point out we're running into a completely clean amp here.
Yeah.
So there's nothing on the amp. So all of
Right.
that kind of growl and grit is coming from the pedal.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yep. Nice.
Then, edgier.
Edgier and hotter.
Yeah, and hotter. And if you need both.
You can go crazy. That's awesome.
Dan and Mick satisfying everyone.
Yeah, right.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Those guys are great putting it together. I got to talk with them last night a little bit at the table, and we're moving forward. We love it. We're going to keep on making them and selling them, and hopefully we move on to maybe a D&M delay, maybe something else,
Well, they
something.
wax lyrical about you all the time.
Yeah.
So you've got two very big fans there. So that's good.
I'll listen to that music in my ear.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's good. Excellent.
So,
Now, this is the one that you might not be able to reach.
yeah. So this Caverns came out around the same time that it seemed everyone was doing a dual
Yeah.
delay reverb thing or a two button thing, and my team pushed to have something a little bit more expansive, hence the name, and to show off some of the stuff we've done with shimmer verb and modulated reverb.
Right.
And of course, it has the pitch modulated delay that you can turn on or off and set the rate for.
Cool.
So let's listen to just the delay side.
Okay. We just do something slightly different. Sorry,
Sure.
brain failure.
You want to change in the time?
No, no. Sounds fine.
Nice. Now we can add a little bit of modulation to it. A little bit goes a long way. That's great.
That's right up my street.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Very nice.
So what we wanted to do is take that. What if we added something that was, in this case, just a little bit of spring reverb? Let's listen to a warm presence front spring reverb. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's starting to sound pretty good now.
Yeah.
So that's with a very warm spring reverb. What happens when you turn it up is it becomes, more expansive, more brighter. But then when you notice when you turn it back down, you're like, wait, the room got smaller. So this kind of is also the size of the room then. So let's listen to this. That was nice.
Beautiful.
Do you want to hear the two crazy ones?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's see. We got shimmer here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. One last one. So this modulated one, at first was tricking me because I thought, I hear shimmer in there, but there's just a lot of kind of chorusy type things in there, and reverbs upon reverb. So let's listen to this modulated one a little bit. Nice. Okay, so let's go back to something that's kind of shimmery. We wanted to hear some rock with this. Let's see what this does for us.
stuff afterwards is amazing.
That's actually the coolest part of this reverb is the trails on it and the stuff that we created in the background. So there's like tons of Easter eggs in this. We were just exploring like the big macro picture, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
skyscraper in front of you. But if you open up each little door in there, there are Easter eggs in there in the sound. And usually it's when you stop playing a little bit and you
Yeah.
let some of the space come through that you're like, wait, that's not just for reverb or some sort of shimmer an octave above, but there's other stuff going on.
I love the idea of Easter eggs within a pedal.
Yes.
It's just awesome.
That's what makes it fun for us too.
Absolutely.
We're like, hey, what if we did this like after a couple minutes? Then we brought in some chorus, and then we did this, or then we brought in some flanging. You know what happens then? So
I need a Caverns in my life.
Yeah,
That's so
there you
cool.
go.
Awesome. Great stuff. Really, really cool. So I guess that's the 4 that we want to look at. So that's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this.
man, so nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. It's been an absolute
Great.
honour. And
Yeah.
they sound awesome. And thanks to Pedals Fusion. There he is over there.
don't
You should
need
come
me.
back in.
You don't need me.
Come on back in.
I learned so much today. I love you, man.
I love working with this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's been very kind and friendly. We've done
Thank
a lot
you,
together.
thank you.
Yeah, your YouTube channel's awesome. And I suppose we have to thank GuitCon. And we have to thank all the
Yeah.
the gear
Yeah, of
guys
course.
in here.
All the guys.
And Hughes and Kettner amps as well. So Mull guitars. So thank you so much, guys. I'm looking at the screen again. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this, and thanks to a true legend of the
Thank
industry.
you, sir.
They don't
Appreciate
get
it.
much bigger. So yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.